George. Why did you get in that bag? We drink a little wine, no one knows us.
He said, Sarah,
Sarah.
that's my name, don't wear it out. It's not intentional
Sarah
to
Boone
fall
needed a
asleep,
lawyer.
I swear.
Not malicious.
But he
I
said,
fell asleep.
Not malicious.
But then I fell asleep.
Sarah,
I fell asleep.
please won't you let
Because
me
it makes
out?
it sound like to me like I'm being accused of something that was not intentional. I'm being accused of it.
Not intentional, no
Right where it
malicious.
is.
She
Right down
just
there.
fell asleep
You
and
did
played,
him.
forgot he was in the bag of dead and stuff. Not intentional.
I
Not
can't
an
imagine
accident at
her
all.
sister.
It will all make sense
The
when
case
she
is an
takes the
aberration.
stand. Oh, Sarah, Sarah.
Now you all think that I had even more in quote intent to do what I did, which was not intentional.
He said, Sarah, Sarah, that's my name, don't wear it out. It's not intentional to fall asleep, I swear. But he said, Sarah. But he said, Sarah. We said, Sarah, Sarah, Sarah.
Hello everybody, excited utterance here. My name's Hella. I have a cat scratching at the door, whining his head off, but it's okay. A second voir dire day for Sarah. Indeed. Look, I've even got this. I had to actually run off in the middle of the intro because my cat was going. So I may have to let him in a minute. But anyway, there we go. Look, fix that up. Dali was like, I'm sure in backstage, but what the hell are you doing? You're running away. Yeah. Anyway, hi everybody. Sarah. I know, it's a good opening. I've been told to have a good opening. Yep. It's a cool song, I know. Oh yeah, I found another. This mic came with a second mic cover. I found it in the box that it originally came in, so that's good. I know you noticed, Scott. Thank you. Stuff has happened, even though we still don't have a jury yet, even though the trial has still not begun yet. Stuff has happened in the last 24 hours, and I'm here to report on it. And we do have Dali. He's feeling a little under the weather. If you're wondering why he hasn't been streaming, he's a little bit sad and sorry for himself. You all right, Dali?
I'm okay. Just
You're okay.
a little under the weather. Yes.
A little under the weather. I can't hear you very well. Can you speak a
A
little?
little under the weather.
Oh, poor Dali.
I know.
It's no good.
I'll be okay.
Well, we might have to pack you up in a suitcase and take you to the hospital.
We may have to.
We didn't do CPR. Yeah. Oh, did something happen to Jody?
Oh no, I'm just under the weather.
No, that's no good. Oh well. Yeah,
I'll be okay.
Christine, they're saying Thursday for opening statements. Well, that's a long way away for me. Today's Wednesday already. And is it only Tuesday for you?
Yes.
That's a long way away. Like
I know.
I'm going away not this weekend, next weekend, right? With my daughter to a K-pop concert in Sydney, which is really problematic because I thought this would all be over, done, dusted by then.
We'll talk about the dates. I can run it for you one day.
Yeah, you might have
I'll have to.
Darling
Yeah.
might have to like take over my channel and me just like call in via my mobile phone, cell phone.
When are you leaving?
I'll be away on your Friday next
Okay.
week, which is my Saturday. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's a problem. Opening statements Thursday afternoon, Friday morning potentially. Well, Kranik was in a big hurry, wasn't he? And it just didn't work out for him. Didn't work out for him. Hi, Marsha, how are you? Call in the concert. Wouldn't that be funny? Yeah, we'll get copyright struck for the music.
True.
Yeah, I can't wait for the K-pop concert. I tell you what, I've got my little light stick ready to go. The whole thing. Hey, Maddie B, how's it going? Sup, chat? Beautiful Waterfall, our 3-time champion. Guys, alright, so did Court TV gaslight me into believing the trial starts at 9 a.m? The trial hasn't started, mate. So
Well, the voir dire
don't
has,
be watching
but-
Court TV. That's one hint for you, because they spout a lot of garbage. Okay, so it is a very long jury selection process, isn't it? What's going on with this? Apparently, hardly anyone knows anything about this case, but it's taking a long time. Now, speaking of that, I have some news for you. A bit of insider information came out on Reddit, and I'm going to show you it soon. Juror or panelist number 35, who was the panelist who kept putting her panel up, saying that she knew all this stuff about the case. Well, guess what? She has come along and gone, hey guys, I'm panelist number 35, and ask me everything. She's come out on Reddit and said that. And of course, everyone asked her everything. And a couple of YouTubers have come along and said, oh, can you please come on my channel? And she hasn't yet. And of course, I'm one of them, and she hasn't yet. But I have the thread, so we're going to have a look at that. We'll do that shortly. But yes, first what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at this very whiny motion from the state, or objection, or motion in lemonade from the state. Oh, I don't have my lemonade, damn. Well, don't worry, tomorrow the motions in lemonade are going to be before the court, so I'll definitely have my lemonade for that. All right, so this is from the state, and I tell you what, Mr. J, he has taken up Sarah's way of writing with the air quotes.
Really?
I don't suppose that you can do air quotes on paper. They're real quotes on paper, but throwing shade with the quotes. So let's have a look at that. Yes, motion hearing tomorrow. We will have some footage tomorrow, guys, definitely. I saw someone was referred to as Sarah Fan. I hope it's a single lady. Okay, let's have a look at this. Let's go. So we have a document. I've been waiting for documents, guys. I've been like, where's the documents? Bring on the documents. Isn't it half Irish? Interesting that a arguably bigger trial. Yeah, it is really a bigger trial.
Delphi is still going. I think they picked their jury today. They ended up kicking 3 of the jurors off that they picked. But I believe they've all got that sorted.
3 of the jurors must have smiled at Rick, so, you know.
I think Gull was contacting the psychic from yesterday that got dismissed.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Delphi is already nuts. Yes, we know. We were listening to Miss Andrea yesterday, and isn't she fantastic? Hey, AG. Okay, so the state's objection and motion in Lemonade to exclude decedent's medical records. Oh dear, poor Mr. J. He has received some medical records. So comes now the state of Florida, by and through the undersigned assistant state attorney, and states and alleges the follows. Tonight, so yesterday I suppose, tonight, the state received 550 pages of medical records regarding the medical treatment the decedent received in 2017 and 2018. Oh dear. It must suck to receive 550 pages of anything this close to trial. Isn't it funny though? Because this is the kind of thing you usually hear about the defense receiving late. Like, oh, they've just chucked me 550 pages of something. Well, the defendant apparently acquired these records in January 2022. January 2022. So, okay, I've highlighted that because if the defendant acquired these records in January 2022, then wouldn't they have already been in discovery? Or why if the defendant acquired them in January 2022, how did the defendant acquire them without the state knowing about that, right? The defendant, or sorry, it must have been the defendant's counsel, because defendant can't just do that. Defendant's incarcerated, right? I can't hear you, sorry. I can't hear you at all. Are you muted?
Yeah, I was sorry. Junior muted
Yeah.
my mic. Counsel for Sarah would have probably done a subpoena to the doctors of Jorge
Yep.
and got the information that way. They wouldn't have turned it over to the state unless they planned on using it.
Correct.
So,
All right, so
Yeah.
her former lawyers would have have gotten it.
Yeah.
And at the time, they probably didn't expect to use it.
yeah.
Now, we have this situation where we have new lawyers coming in at the 11th hour. And unfortunately, they're in this weird situation where they've had a really, really, really short amount of time to prepare. Now, I understand the state's frustration. I really, really do. Like, for them, it's like, what the hell? Why are you giving me this giant document, and how is it relevant to the case? What am I supposed to do with it? But then again, from the defense's point of view, they just walked in.
Yeah.
So these lawyers really have not had anywhere near adequate time to prepare. So the defendant acquired these records in January 2022. Well, that's kind of not Mr. Owen's fault. The state adopts all the arguments and authority cited in the state's motion in limine to exclude battered spouse syndrome evidence, or exclude mention of battered spouse syndrome evidence until the defendant testifies to a justifiable use of deadly force. So that was what was in their motion the other day. And we still haven't seen a response to that, weirdly. I've been waiting for a week for a response to the state's objection to the order from the judge to allow this battered spouse defense in. And yeah, it was a week ago, just before the courts closed. So I was really surprised that we haven't seen anything back from the defense on this. Marsha, what are you saying here? My gut tells me that Owens didn't actually go through all 550, but saw that they were put into discovery, so threw them in. Yeah, I have a feeling you're probably right. You're probably right. And almost, I would think he'd be so overloaded with discovery, he would think that they would have it. I think he would think that they would have it. It's been around since 2022. So maybe there's just a bit of a miscommunication going on here. Maybe it's nothing like untoward. I could be wrong, but Mr. J has really taken it to heart, let's say, and gone, okay, so the state adopts all of the arguments and authority cited in the state's motion in limine to exclude battered spouse evidence. Oh, we've already done that. The defendant, even in her most recent iteration of what happened on February 2023, oh, isn't that shady? Do you want to read that one, actually? You want to read it in your voice?
Yes.
Number 4.
The defendant, even in her most recent iteration of what happened in February 23rd, 2020, has not set forth the legal grounds to claim self-defense.
Yeah.
Safa Bronca.
Yeah, it's just like, even in her most recent iteration, because there's been so many iterations. And I just love how, I had to highlight assuming, because he's put it in italics. It's just so shady. Assuming that she does so at trial with a different version of events, than prior incidents of violence committed by the decedent that she was aware of would be admissible to show the reasonableness of her fear of imminent great bodily harm or death. Assuming. I mean, really. This guy should like write romance novels. These these records are irrelevant. 400. Okay, this bit. Apparently, the great majority of this is about one incident. Okay, so 487 pages regard an incident on December 24, 2017, where the decedent was beaten so badly he needed facial reconstruction surgery. Now, this could be taken out of context, right? And I guarantee, mark my words, just like I did, say, with the whole thing about her wanting a haircut and the makeup and stuff, that all the channels would blow it out of proportion and turn it into a thing about needing a stylist and makeup entourage, that people are going to look at this and go, oh, I bet this was something to do with Sarah, right? Okay, so 487 pages regarded incident on December 24, 2017, where the decedent was beaten so badly he needed facial reconstruction surgery. This is not relevant to whether the decedent committed a prior act of violence that the defendant was aware of occurring. If this incident that resulted in these injuries is somehow made relevant, the severity of the decedent's injuries is not relevant. If the severity of these injuries is somehow relevant, then the defendant should narrow it down to the pertinent narrative history of what the decedent said happened and the treatment provided. This could be done in a handful of pages. Right, and I highlighted that because you know what? I know for sure there is no way that they could possibly have done that in this period of time, right? Because I think that Owens just found this and 487 pages narrowed down to a couple of pages summary. It's a medical record. He'd need an expert to do that. Good luck doing that in this period of time. Now, it would be completely out of context for people to turn this around and say that this would be Sarah's doing. Like, she beat him to a point where he needed facial reconstruction surgery because the defense has brought this in. Right? It makes no sense. 0 sense. But I guarantee people are going to do it. Okay, what do other people think? So Sarah and George were over at George's brother's house, Moses. Sarah told Moses that George was beating her. Moses broke George's orbital bone. All this comes from Juan's police interview. Oh, it's really, Scott.
Oh, I thought he only beat his wife.
Okay, so it has to do with Moses. So this is interesting, right? Okay, so this starts to bring in the family and violence in the family. Right, so George's brother Moses, Sarah told Moses that George was beating her. Moses broke George's orbital bone. All this comes from... Okay, so this is starting to show why it's possible he might want to bring this in, because it's starting to show that there's violence in the family. Eek, right? So you're saying the brother beat George in defense of Sarah. Now that could be interesting. Hey, Barbara, how are you?
I think James has something. He's going to open the door some way.
He's going to open the door with this.
Or the suitcase.
He's going to open the suitcase with this. Wow. Did you all hear about Sarah's snack request? Yeah. Yeah, of course. Goodness me. What a storm in a teacup. We'll come to that in a minute. Yeah, okay. This is very interesting. All right, let's keep going. So the 2018 incident is not relevant. All right, so we just talked about the 2017 incident, which made him need facial reconstruction surgery. The 2018 incident is also not relevant. the history provided by the decedent was that he put his hand through a glass window the day before, and his wife made him go to the doctor the next day. He received 2 sutures to close a 4.5 centimeter laceration. Right, so hang on a minute. 2017, 2018. So he has a wife in 2018, and the wife... Hang on, how's he got a wife in 2018?
He said, I do.
Yeah, but 2017... Okay.
His brother?
The history provided by the decedent was that he put his hand through a glass window the day before, and his wife made him go to the doctor the next day.
Oh, maybe he was married before?
He was married back then. Okay. George was cheating with Sarah. What? This just gets more full on.
Classy.
I wouldn't have seen her as the other woman. But anyway, sure. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that was in 2018. He put his hand through a glass window. All right. I love this bit. Assuming... Oh, I forgot to highlight that bit. Assuming that the defendant testifies in a manner to make that incident relevant. A couple of pages of these records with the narrative of what allegedly happened and the treatment provided is sufficient to... Oh, and I had to put this, corroborate her testimony. In quotes. Corroborate
Allegedly.
her testimony. Guys, do you remember all those letters back from, like, when she was really annoyed with Bankowitz and the judge? She used to use the quotes, like, and kind of like air quotes, like, you're honorable, right? And it was so snarky and mean, but that was when, like, she was full Sarah back then, right? Like, I think she's really turned a corner since then. She's started to behave a lot more respectful now, but people remember that Sarah, the quotes Sarah, right? And this is Mr. J, so this is the state, and saying the treatment provided is sufficient to corroborate her testimony. I think this is a little bit juvenile, this wording, right? Yeah. Outline read, Sarah was cheating on Brian with George. Not a stretch to think they were both cheating. Oh, yeah, it's not a stretch at all. Yeah, it's a whole soap opera. The whole thing is, I find it really odd that the state prosecutor is writing his motions this way. It's just like, be more professional. You don't have to write your motions the way that Sarah was writing her letters to the judge.
Yeah.
It is petty. You like petty? I mean, it's funny. It's just not what I was expecting at all. Burying the jury with 550 pages of records when nearly all of them are irrelevant, when giving the defendant every benefit of the doubt on relevancy is unnecessary. You're supposed to give the defendant every benefit of the doubt, but anyway.
Wow, yeah.
Burying them? Okay, that's a
Stretch.
going far.
All right.
What?
No, it's they're the ones whining about getting too much discovery.
Isn't it interesting that the state is whining about getting too much discovery?
Yeah.
I just find this to be such a turnaround. And the probative value is substantially outweighed by the danger of unfair prejudice, confusion of issues, misleading the jury, or needless presentation of cumulative evidence. Florida Statute 90.403. Yeah, these are exactly the kind of arguments you usually hear from the defense. Yeah. Poor state, overworked and understaffed, right? It's kind of
Yes.
like the Baldwin case.
Yeah.
Yeah? All of a sudden, we've got like Spiro and his team that are overworking Kari.
I know. Poor Carrie.
Poor Kari. Mr. J's like, poor Kari. It's like, what's he going to do?
I know.
He hasn't got enough. He hasn't got anywhere near enough resources to go through all this stuff. What's he
A
going to
mean
do at this last
defense.
minute? Oh, hey, Sean. How's it going? Sean from Sydney is here. Sean the sheep. Okay. Therefore,
Yes.
the state objects to these records, barring their relevance being established at trial and their probative value not being substantially outweighed by the danger of unfair prejudice, confusion of issues, misleading the jury, or needless presentation of cumulative evidence. Yes, isn't that what they just said? But in other words, I certify that a copy hereof has been furnished to James Silvanove Owens. La 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 la. Okay, cool, whatever. Yeah, I am really, really interested as to what he plans to do with this stuff.
Yeah.
And thank you, chat, for your input into this. You can't deny he's making good legal arguments. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's just really curious. I'm so curious now as to what James is going to do with this. And you got to admit that James is no fool, right? James Owens, he's got something up his sleeve, guys. I told you, didn't I? Right? He has something up his sleeve. He is going to show that there was some threat to Sarah, that there was some really serious threat to Sarah, and perhaps it wasn't just from the decedent, it was from the family as well, that they were all against her and that they were all threatening her, and she said it too to the cops the day after as well.
Yeah.
Maybe she even said it prior. Who knows?
Could be.
Maybe he has evidence of that. This is very interesting. The only thing overworked in Kari's life is her wine glass. Ah, dear. Okay, now, right. So, do you want to see Sarah in court today?
Yes.
I think you will do. If you haven't already, Dali's got that. There
Ready?
we go. So, do you want to just play that? I don't think we got any audio, do we?
No.
No. There she is, looking pretty.
Oh. Oh,
Is
get her
she?
little shoes off, get some new ones.
Apparently she does have shoes. Ah,
Yeah.
okay. So,
No.
was that her prison slides coming off?
Yeah, and then she's got some new ones there. No cocaine in them.
No, make sure there's no cocaine or cheese.
Got the little cutie pie back there.
Now, I'm going to tell you a bit about the cutie pie in a minute. And
Wish
thanks
she
to
was a
Scott Wade
prosecutor.
for helping with that. So, yeah, regarding the cutie pie, and also just a little bit more footage there. So, yeah, so this one here, I'll just share this tab. Oh, hang on. Okay, so it's a different footage. So, there they are, fist bump. They always do a fist bump.
Oh, it's not that blonde?
It is that blonde.
No?
What are you talking about, Mavka? Oh, that's my blonde. Right. Okay, so see this blonde here, right? Thank you to Scott Wade. Scott Wade's found out something about this lovely blonde lady. And, by the way, Sarah seems to get on really well with her. They're
Surprisingly.
mates. They're good old mates. People have been simping over the blonde lady.
How dare Sarah get a hottie to represent
Her
her?
name is Shelby Andrews, and here she is, Shelby Lynette. Shelby is a jury and trial consultant.
Wow.
She's also Miss Bikini Coast International World Finals,
Wow.
Miss Daytona Beach, Miss Pensacola, Miss Atlanta, and Miss Emerald Coast.
What? I wonder what talent she has that would get her to become a jury consultant.
I don't know, but there she is. Lovely.
Okay, this trial just getting more and more bizarre.
Well, you know, what you do in your spare time is your own business, I suppose, but check her out. Nice. Pretty. Sarah was runner-up.
I think
That's
chat
where
wants
they
the
know
link
each
for
other from.
chat wants the link for research purposes.
There we go, Miss Pensacola.
Oh.
Oh, look, she's a cheerleader too.
Now she's cheering on Sarah.
Now she is. Oh, she fits on the shoulder. You go, oh, she's a high jumper. What can't she do? Can she get Sarah a not guilty? Let's see.
Can she get Sarah sprung?
Yeah.
Get it?
Anyway, there she is, very pretty. I don't like this outfit though on the left. I think that could have been thought through a little bit more. Anyway, just a little bit of a side note there. Now, the pièce de résistance. The thing I found last night.
Her OnlyFans?
And I was like, yeah. I was juror 35. And if you have any questions on how the day went, ask away. I obviously got dismissed for my knowledge on the case. Now, Kathy Russon yesterday, I actually was reading out her tweets yesterday, and there was one tweet that she read out that she posted, said there's one panelist who keeps raising her panel every time any questions asked about, have you seen a video about a man in a suitcase? Have you seen an interrogation about a man in a suitcase? And she keeps raising her panel. That's juror or panelist number 35. This is panelist number 35. And so she gets on Reddit that night. New mathematician 843 she is. I obviously got dismissed. Okay, great. 152 upvotes and 220 comments. So I started from the beginning. What questions were asked? Was a jury selected? There's a whole other post on here that goes through the questions that were asked. Most were about hardship jurors had. So if their job paid for their jury service, did they have young children, etc. Then there was some about the case. Have you seen a man in a suitcase? Have you seen the SB interrogation video? I think, someone called Plain is the one posting in the Twitter feed. Okay. All right, so people started asking crap like this. How smug did Sarah seem? In a previous comment, I said that she seemed arrogant at first during introductions, but it could have been because she was so hopeful that no one knew about the case. Only 3 out of the 50 ended up knowing anything, it seems. Mostly, she was scribbling on paper and looking down. True Paper said, yeah, she doesn't seem, I don't seem she seems smug. AG, honestly, like this Reddit is pretty much like any other sort of wine mummy kind of chat. Like, it's exactly the same as like if you were to read like EDB's comment sections. It's pretty much the same. How can you find the Reddit page? I can put it in link. Hello, Paul Clink. Maybe Sarah will slide under a gas truck and taste her rope. Okay. Right, okay. Did you notice any reaction from her when the 3 indicated that they knew about the case? I applaud you on being honest that you knew about the case. If anyone gets through who lied, they're risking a potential mistrial. That's true. Looks like the trial will be later in the week unless the admirable Judge K pushes it forward even quicker. I like that he mentioned sports. He knows that whoever does get to sit is in for a gruesome trial. What's that got to do with it? Okay, so I was not looking at her at the time. I was making eye contact with the judge since he was the one asking questions. Yes, that's the whole point. While I think she's guilty, I put a lot of things at risk if I am not honest. Yeah. Haha, he did that with one juror panel too. He seems like a great guy, an awesome and fair judge. I like how he makes them come up with the cases to support their argument. Very smart. Thanks for the info. I agree on Judge K. I couldn't do his job. He's so quick on case law and taking Owen apart. Why do people just automatically hate Owens? Is it just because he's representing Sarah? Is that it? You should... Oh, by the way, guys, you should see some of the comments I've had on my stream with Steve and Sean and Branca. Like, people were so mean. And just because, like, they're defense attorneys and they sticking up for Owens.
Yeah.
People hate defense attorneys.
They do?
Well, people who are following this case hate defense attorneys. Yeah. Yeah, she isn't smug. She's a bit of an idiot. That's true, but she's not smug. Yep. Okay, so thanks for the info, and I agree on Judge K. I couldn't do his job. Sorry. Judge Koenig always brings Owen back to discussing whether he actually has a legal argument and case law, rather stopping the circular nonsense he attempts. He did the same with SB, asking her for actual examples for her argument, as she always had none. Who do these people think they are? Like, do they think they're lawyers?
They have no idea. They have no clue, and
they
just
no idea what
love to hate.
About. Like, often I feel like these people are like they come from like Emily Baker's chat or something like that. Like they think like they've learnt about like how to be a lawyer, and so therefore they are able to. They think they're able to like comment on his ability as a lawyer, even though he's like this dude has 40 years experience.
Yeah.
I was looking to see if I could find any of his previous televised cases. I didn't find any, but I did find a video of him accepting his judge position. It was great seeing him in that, as he was always smiling, unlike in court. Very happy. He gave a very personal speech, and his family came up. It was only a few years ago, and he had very young children. I think these courts are crying out for people like him to be judges, as it's a tough role, and he could likely make far more in private practice. I'm sure you would do a brilliant job for what you mentioned if you swapped over, though if no law degree, long hours in law school first. Oh God, this is all just bullshitting now about bloody Judge Koenig. Let's go back. Has anyone mentioned how long they presume the hearing should take? No one answered that. Who was asking the questions? Do you have anything interesting to share? Well, yeah. Judge was asking all the questions. I think in some of the one-on-ones, some attorneys may have had some, but they did not ask me any. Yeah. Juror 35 is simping for the judge. Almost everybody in this chat is simping, not chat, ours, as in theirs, is simping for the judge. I don't get simping for the judge, especially this one. Like, there are very few judges that I think are awesome. Like, I like the one in the Boone trial. She's pretty cool. Like, she makes decisions like right there. I like that. This one, he has a really good knack of appearing to be fair and kind and all that kind of garbage, but he does not make decisions. He takes his goddamn time, and then he is so state biased. It's ridiculous. Weird that the attorneys, prosecutor and defense, weren't more involved in the voir dire. My understanding was that they were deeply involved, but perhaps that comes after the initial screening of the panels. Were you bummed about not getting selected to move on? I can't imagine too many folks not knowing anything about the case unless they don't bother with social media and or true crime channels. I guess we are a certain type of people that are interested in stuff like this. Thank you for sharing with us. They had this is the OP. So they had to opportunity to ask me questions, but they did not have follow-up for me. I was very forthcoming about my knowledge. I think they may have agreed to which questions to first ask, but were asked by the judge instead of them. I do think there will be another round where they get to ask more, but I was not a part of that. I was bummed, but I also knew 100% that I was not going to get picked, not going to be picked going in. So even going into today, I was like, if this is SB trial, I'm getting dismissed, huh? Oh my God, I can't believe a potential juror is here. Welcome and thank you. I'm so stunned and I can't think of anything to ask. Oh God. This is crazy to me. You're one of us following the trial, get jury duty, and think to yourself, might be the Sarah Boone trial. Wow, thanks for sharing your experience with us. The attorneys will, once Judge Kranick gets a baseline panel pool of jurors, the ones that were not excluded for knowing about the case hardship. All right. Interesting. This is the OP. It did seem like when the judge read it was a murder trial and asked, have you seen the video of the man in the suitcase or body cam or interrogation, the tone in the courtroom shifted. This is interesting. They dismissed us again, and then we sat outside the courtroom and everyone kind of had a stunned look. Can't describe it. Maybe like an oh shit type of look. No one said anything, but it was a general vibe people were giving off that this is serious. How fun. Imagine that. That is interesting, isn't it? Like, yeah, imagine, like, you never heard anything about it and you came in and it's your first day and they start talking about that. They go, have you seen a video of a man in a suitcase? Or body cam? Or an interrogation about it? And you're like, what the hell? Man in a suitcase? And you're like, no, but I'd like to. Sign me up. Wow. What does TSMFS mean?
No clue. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company subsidiary.
Yeah,
probably not.
Right half Irish. I'd be like going right home and googling it for sure.
Top shelf mother.
Yep. That is interesting, and actually, oddly enough, something I wondered about as I read the list of questions they'd asked. If I hadn't heard anything about this case and got asked those questions, I'd be extremely curious to hear the story. Like, man in a suitcase, what? I was very happy to see your post here on Reddit. Thanks again for sharing with us. I can't imagine seeing the looks on people's faces when they found out George died by being trapped in a suitcase. Wait until the jurors see the video. If it was legal to show the jury, I would pay good money to see live video of jurors watching the video for the first time. Well, that's kind of like why people watch reaction videos on YouTube,
True.
right? Like, yeah, it's true. That's why reaction videos do well. I remember my first time seeing the video back in 2020. I could not believe my eyes. What did you guys think when you first saw the video, chat? Like, I've told you guys what I thought. Like, I thought, what did he do to you? Like, when she said, for all you've done to me, my initial reaction was, well, what did he do to you? I wanted to know what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. The jurors will all be subbing to LawTube now. True crime channels, I reckon. Less LawTube. Yeah, what the actual... Yeah, it was horrifying. It was horrifying. But, yeah, I was just so curious as to what he actually did. That part, that really got me. I was just like, what could you have done? Somehow that video of him in the suitcase is one of the most unnerving and disturbing things I have ever watched or seen in my entire true crime content consumer career. And you never even actually see him. Compared to other things I've seen, it should be pretty tame. But something about hearing him begging for his life and seeing the suitcase move ever so slightly is especially gruesome for me. Yeah, that's true. That is true. And I guess, like, that does explain a bit why people are so angry at her. Like, there is that anguish, that scary kind of moment of him moving and begging and her just not doing anything about it, and people just are so angry at her for not doing anything. I have severe claustrophobia and I'm physically affected by watching it. That's fair, Maddie B. It is pretty dark, yeah. It's the nasty thing she says while he's begging to get out. Yeah, you're right about that. Beautiful waterfall. But Mavka, it is very tame and lighthearted compared to shit like what Soto and Birchmore. Well, I wouldn't say lighthearted. That may be going a little far, but tame. Yeah, like we see a lot of stuff that's more gruesome than that. It's the laughing. Yeah. Why hasn't there been a TikTok suitcase challenge? I don't know. It's a good one. For me, it's the wow. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Her nonchalant attitude while he's literally dying. Yeah. See, and this is the thing. I just feel like I just try to put myself in the person's shoes, and I'm like, does she understand what's going on? Like, how can she possibly understand what's going on? If anyone who understood what was going on couldn't be doing that, right? She mustn't surely have understood what was going on, right? Like, can it be possible that she understood what was going on? Like, that's the only explanation I can come up with. For me, it's just like, she seems like such a otherwise fairly normal person. Like,
well, she doesn't know he's dying.
She doesn't know he's dying. Yeah, even though he's saying, I can't breathe, babe, and I know, I get that. I get he's saying that, right? But for me, I'm just like, apparently they're playing games. Yeah. Apparently. Right. So I don't get it. I just do not get how she could comprehend what's going on and continue to do that. Unless she really did comprehend it and she is that depraved. It's possible. But in other aspects of her life, she seems fairly normal. So, apart from being drunk. Yeah. Call it the pack your boyfriend challenge. She was too skunked out to have an accurate grip on the situation. That's how I feel. And that's not an excuse, but that's how I feel about it. He gives zero panic in his voice to her. I think that's part of it. It's part of it. But, like, I mean, you can't judge him for that. Like, it's so tricky. It's so tricky. Somehow that video, okay, we watched that. We very rarely have actual video of someone's last moments in a murder. Knowing how cramped and scared he was, knowing that while he was suffocating, he was understanding that the woman he loved was gleefully letting him die in an absolutely horrifying way. We don't usually have those things shown to us so, but how do you say that word? Viscerally.
Vicariously?
Hearing his,
Or viscerally?
Viscerally, yes, that's right. Hearing his voice get weaker and more frantic. It's a devastating video, and I'm so thankful we have it, or Sarah might be free already. And anybody who has ever had breathing problems is even more horrified. Having sometimes bad asthma, anytime I see something where someone couldn't breathe, it's even more infuriating and sad. I can't imagine what he went through. Oh, here we go. I don't want to talk about someone whose mum passed from massive asthma attack. Okay, so hang on, let's just go back a minute. Okay. What was Sarah wearing? Oh, a navy blue outfit. So important. I have a tsunami of questions, but I'll start you off with a couple of easy ones. Were you surprised when the jury summons ended up being for this trial? Was Sarah in the courtroom? Did she have any interaction with her attorneys at their table during jury selection? Thanks for answering the questions. Well, she kind of answered all that already. This. Okay. I don't have any questions. I just wanted to commend you on your honesty in the case. It was the right thing to do, but no less worthy of acknowledging. Oh, thank you. Yes, I mean, I really wish I could have sit on this trial just because of my knowledge, but I also believe everyone deserves a fair trial. And it would not have been fair if I was sitting on the jury. No, it would not have.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Thank you for having integrity. It's refreshing. Shame we won't get this comment. Time to crowdsource my verdict. Reddit, upvote this comment. Downvote for guilty. Okay. I have to wonder if in this day and age, if anyone can actually have a fair trial and impartial jury trial due to the amount of information we're all exposed to. Hey, good question.
Yeah?
I feel it's so hard to not look up the case after you found out the name. True. I don't listen to local news. I'd be a good juror for local stuff, I think. I don't listen to local news either. Somehow came across this one. Well, she's into true crime, so how could she not? Like, anyone who's into this stuff would have found it. Now, there's something interesting I want to get to. 3 to 4 weeks ago, I got summoned. Oh, are you familiar with the YouTube channel Lawyer You Know? I bet he would love to talk with you. Yeah, I watch him all the time. Probably the reason I got dismissed. Ha ha ha. Him and Grizzly True Crime are my go-tos. If he's interested, that would be fun. Yay for Grizzly. She's covering FL versus something or other. Lalani, whatever. I think Peter would for sure be interested. Okay. Oh, here we go. Does she look worse or better in person? Did seeing her in person change your perspective on her? Does she have creepy vibes?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. She looks the same. I would say taller, broader. I was expecting her to be somewhat petite, but she seemed taller to me in person. Not at all. Not creepy vibes that I felt. Other than that, knowing the case and having my own opinions, she seemed kind of approachable. We introduced herself with slight arrogance. I thought beforehand she said there was no arrogance. That's interesting. Thanks. I wonder how her presence and attitude in person will affect the jury. Also, if she looks bigger in person than on camera, and the prosecution brings up how George was only 103 pounds at the time of his death, I wonder if her claim of self-defense will seem even more questionable. Okay. Yeah, I am petite, 5'2", 120, and she looks bigger than me. It's hard to tell, though. I'm not impartial, so it's hard to say what the other people were feeling. She was also in the middle of the room looking at us. When jury starts, she will be turned around, so I feel like less impactful. Her presence was pretty normal other than the first initial greeting. I think they won't think much of her, honestly. She did smile a couple of times, but for the most part, scribbling and stoic.
Yeah.
I'm curious if she comes off as really smug and snarky, but I think someone else already asked that. Sorry, why is there a comment up?
Oh, I was just waiting for you to end, but there was also another juror in Delphi that said seeing Richard Allen in person changed how she felt. Like she thought he was
Changed
less
how she
menacing. He was smaller than she expected. She actually gave him more of the benefit of the doubt after she saw what he looked like in person.
Was the person knowing of the case, Kat?
Yeah. They knew some of the
okay.
facts of the case.
Knew some of the facts of the case.
Yeah.
Okay. So if the person knew some of the facts of the case, like they generally would be dismissed anyway, like unless
Probably.
they would say you would think,
Yeah.
because they're bringing a lot of people in. That's interesting. So okay, they thought he was scary and then saw him in person and felt differently. Okay. Yeah, I don't think Richard Allen's scary looking from what I can tell.
Yeah.
Especially, that's interesting. Most these people are just normal people. Especially Richard Allen.
Yeah.
Especially Richard Allen. Hey, no worries. I did not get this vibe. She has very minimal interaction with my juror panel and did not talk. So, are you glad you are not a juror, or do you wish you had more objectivity so you could be part of it? I wish I had more objectivity. I've never been a juror before, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right, hang on, where is it? I want to find the part. Somebody. Oh, hang on. Since she's been in jail, she has gained a good bit of weight, especially in her face and torso. That's nice. Thank you for your honesty and service. I really want to think I would have said I know of the case, but it's so tempting to deny it. Thing is, I think I would have been impartial, but I understand why it has to be done this way. I've sat on the defense's side while a jury was being picked. We sat in the back row. Did you see anyone that looked like they were there for her? I was wondering if witnesses are going to be sequestered, but figured Brian probably wouldn't be in there watching. But I didn't know if some of her fans would show up in support. Oh, no, I wasn't there. I need more information. Are you asking if it looked like a juror was trying to support her, or if there were people there like her family supporting her? I think the OP meant, did she appear to have any supporters there, i.e. if Brian was still supporting her, was he in the back row observing? Oh Lord, I sure hope that boat has long left port. Brian has already done way more than was reasonable for Sarah to expect. Manipulate, demand. Goodness me, like, these people act like they know Brian, they know Sarah, they know these people, like, personally, don't they?
Yeah.
It's just like, you don't know these people. You don't, like, Brian sees Sarah, I'm sure, as the mother of his child. I'm sure they haven't had, like, a great relationship, but you don't know. You have no idea, like, whether or not he would support her or not. Like, maybe he does want her to be around for his child's life, and that's his decision, right? So these people who are just, like, wanting to put their opinion out there as to whether or not Brian should show support for the mother of his child, please, like, you don't know them. You don't know them. I did not see him there, but I also didn't look. I also didn't see much space for anyone to sit other than the jury. There was a ton of us. I saw some reporters, but I had assumed everyone over there was all press, so I didn't pay too much attention. Thanks for your reply. You're a celebrity.
Well, let's not go that far.
All right. I also didn't see anyone with Sarah Boone signs. Oh, damn it. Look, if I could get there, I would.
I know.
I'm not sure what her supporters would look like. You mean there weren't hundreds of people with signs supporting SB on the courtroom steps? Shocking.
Oh, God, I wish I lived in Florida.
Guys,
I
could
would
you
do
all
that.
get there?
I would do that if I lived in Florida. Justice for Boone.
Justice for Boone. Well, I mean, I've had that on my stream a lot. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and someone made a whole stream about me being a stan.
That's true.
Someone did. Yeah, I'd bring her a Dr. Pepper for sure. Why not? Boone is for all. Boone is for all. Okay.
Just don't
Oh my
misspell it,
God.
Justin. 2 O's. 2 O's.
Two ways.
Not one.
Yeah, sorry, I meant if she had supporters. I know she had 2 brothers. One was locked up in 2020, so I didn't know if they or some of her fans were there in support. They probably would have been sitting on her side all the way back when the jurors were ushered in. To me, it seemed realistic that her brothers could be there to support her, but also wouldn't be asked to go shopping for court clothes to bring her, which is why it fell on the legal team. But I just didn't know if you could tell if she had any supporters there. But thanks for making this post and for all your answers. Oh, here we go. Somebody has had a go at her. As much as I wanted to hear from you, this worries me. I'm sure Sarah's lawyers are checking social media regularly. They'll all use anything to their benefit.
Well, she was dismissed, so...
I'm sure they are. This person was already dismissed. And then the BOP says, I think they're just worried what I'm saying could reveal a plan for the defense, or that they could adjust their perception. But really, the defense shouldn't read into anything I've said. I wouldn't have been convinced of her innocence if I was on the jury by any adjustments to her appearance, Owen's speed of speech, or colours of suits. I'm not the one they are trying to convince, and it would be futile to adjust their plans based on my perception, which is already biased. Are you for real? This person is not impaneled as a juror and is not involved in deliberations. They did the right thing in court by indicating their knowledge of the case, and there is nothing, to my knowledge, preventing a released potential juror from speaking about their experience. Sometimes released jurors are directly told that they are now free to speak about it, though not obligated to. I'm sure you're correct, but any time a juror speaks, I get nervous. Look at the Ashley Benefield trial. Someone claiming to be the brother of a juror posted something in a law and crime chat during delivery. Try saying that fast. During delivery, I can't even say it. Could you say it? During
jury deliberation.
during jury deliberations. The defense discovered the comment, and now the judge is going to have to interview each member of the jury individually. A random person posted something in a chat, and she may get a new trial as a result. Crazier things have happened. I'd be willing to bet a member of Sarah's team is watching Reddit closely and is already aware of Juror 35.
Wow.
God. Really? What happened? Spill the tea, girl. My God. This is so lame. Was Sarah Boone bossing her lawyer around? I did not experience that. Well, thank you. Oh, look, and there's the post from Kathy Russin. Juror 35 raising their paddle at pretty much every question about seeing the Suitcase video, Sarah Boone interrogation, and that they did not believe that they could be a fair juror. A total of 3, that includes 35, number 35, of the 15 indicated that they could not be a fair and impartial juror. You're famous! Haha, I saw this. What can I say? I've seen everything. Ah, this is the bit I want to show you. Had it occurred to you to lie? To say you don't know her?
Wow.
It occurred to me, but I don't think that's right. I know more than will be submitted into evidence. I know about all the motions. I know all the hearings. I know all about her almost not having a lawyer. While I think she's guilty, she's entitled to a fair trial. She should be presumed innocent until the jury finds her otherwise, based on the evidence presented. I would taint the pool and ultimately put the whole judicial process at risk. She said taint.
She did? Taint?
She said it. Ha! Taint enters the chat. Okay, I don't mind her now. I don't mind her now. B. Lumencraft said, she quoted, I would taint the pool and ultimately put the whole judicial process at risk. Or maybe a narcissist villain who believes her lies, and instead of you, they get your spot, and the murder bitch comes free and kills the next guy in 5 years.
Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about freaking Sarah Boone doing this again, okay? I don't think she's going to be playing hide and seek anytime soon, buddy. All right, take a chill pill. It's all right, okay? We're not doing this for prevention, okay? She's not a gang member. She's not going to go out and harm society further. Okay?
She's going to recruit more Suitcase people.
Okay, she's not going to go and start her own line of luggage. She's not going to get a sponsorship for Samsonite. She's not going to team up with a Samsonite gorilla and start bashing their luggage. Okay, we chill. Okay? It's cool. She's not going to do it again, buddy. All right? So simmer down. Simmer down
now. She's not a gang member yet. Would you feel guilty? That's
doing
some
the
trolley
right thing.
problem here, eh? This is, of course, a rhetorical question to make a point. You don't have to answer if you don't want.
That's not a trolley problem.
What the hell?
That's not a trolley problem.
What's a trolley problem?
Would you pull a train is coming and is going to unalive 10 people, but you could redirect it to another track where it would unalive one person, saving 9 lives. But you would have to manually pull that lever and kill one person, whereas doing nothing would kill 10 people.
I see. Okay. This person here, B. Lumencraft, my God, what the hell are they on? So they're saying that in her place, the person who did the right thing, a juror could be in there who is another narcissist villain who believes her lies. So someone else, because anyone they don't like is a narcissist, right? Anyone. Okay? And they're a villain and they believe her lies, and instead of you, they get your spot, and the murder bitch comes free, okay, good use of English, and kills the next guy in 5 years. That logic is just out there.
Can this person be one of the people that the trolley goes in front of?
Yeah. Wow. Oh, it's got a -2 vote. Cool.
Oh, well, at least Reddit has some. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah. All right. And honestly, I've got to give it to the OP because she has just been, really good. Like, she's answered all of these questions, even this one.
Tart.
Yeah, with a fair bit of grace. Maybe that would happen. I wouldn't feel guilty, though. I stayed true to my truth and know that I was being honest. I am not the one who has blood on my hands.
Well, I don't think
I
he
would
bled.
feel bad if it came down to that. The prosecution did not do their job. But I do feel like the prosecution has a solid case, and this
Wow.
won't be the end result. Unfortunately, the judicial system doesn't always get it right, both directions. But just because it doesn't always get it right doesn't mean that I should add more chaos into the mix. It's on the state to prove beyond reasonable doubt, even to potentially a supervillain narcissist, not on me. Yeah,
Okay.
look, good for her. Good
I
for
mean-
her. So I can't believe that anyone would even ask her what a stupid question. And she answered it really well. It's a shame that hearing facts of a case before the trial taints a juror. Yeah. What? Of course it does. Maybe some, but I would treat the news as hearsay and listen to the facts of the case. Well, that's good for you.
Well, some
You're
hearsay
smart
is
to be honest.
relevant,
Sorry.
buddy. Some hearsay is relevant, buddy.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, sure. But, I mean, you can't be... If you hear facts of the case beforehand, it takes a really intelligent person and someone with very little ego to be able to go, okay, I have heard some things about this, but I'm not going to take those things and make a decision now. Or even if
Yeah.
I have kind of made a decision, I'm going to completely put that aside and tell myself that I can be wrong. Because that's what you're doing. Like, if you have told yourself that there is a certain answer to something and then you're willing to go back on that, there's a certain amount of humility that goes along with it. And yeah, like, for example, I am very, very willing to let the state convince me that she is guilty of murder too. Second-degree murder, the whole thing, every single element of this crime, I'm willing to let them convince me. But they have to convince me of every single element of the crime. I want them to go through and show me. So I believe that that's how it should work for every defendant. And it starts at the beginning of the trial. It doesn't start back here. It starts at the beginning of the trial. So I just am not... I'm not in support of people making their decisions and sticking to them prior and then holding out on that right till the end. It's like it's like marrying somebody that you just met and then being like, no, I'm gonna stick with them even though things just really aren't working out. It's a shame. Oh, so we did this one. I agree with this. It's also a shame all evidence doesn't get submitted. No, some evidence is not relevant, so it's not a shame, really. I didn't gain my info from the news, though. I read through the motions, watch the hearings, and listen to commentary on all of it. Well, this is the problem. It's the listening to the commentary on all of it that I see. Like, I think that reading the motions and watching the hearings is one thing, but the commentary part is really a big problem, don't you think, Darlie? Like,
Yeah.
Because whose commentary? Like, if it's presented in such a way that it's completely biased in one direction, then you are your view's being tainted. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it's true. Influencers are called influencers for a reason, because they influence your opinion.
Yeah.
Not adding more chaos is an argument I can go with. It makes sense to me on a fundamental level. However, if I was in the above scenario, I would feel guilty for not playing the system in order to prevent her from getting free. But that's only me. Are you fucking serious? You would feel guilty for not lying to the court to get onto the jury to prevent her from getting free. I hope that they come after you.
Yeah.
I hope you never get on a jury. And this person's so nice. Yeah, it is sad when you research a case, some of the evidence doesn't get submitted that proves guilt, and then the person gets set free. Right? It would be a bummer if this happens here. I can see it happen. Can you really? Okay, well that's interesting. Alrighty, that was fun. Did you see that Law and Crimp Studios were robbed? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I just saw. Like 5 days ago.
Sweet.
They got the stuff back,
Sorry.
though. They got the stuff back.
What'd they take?
A bunch of equipment.
A bunch of equipment.
What tab was it? Just real quick. Can you pull it up in StreamYard?
Can I?
Yeah. Is it up?
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, burglar steals $30K in equipment from Dan Abrams' Lawn Crim Studio. Cop co-host cracks case. Clueless criminal made a major score when he knocked over a midtown studio filled with pricey audio and video equipment, plus a plethora of laptops.
There you go.
Yeah.
But he got caught.
Yep, because they had a bunch of cameras and everything. So,
Because they had a bunch of cameras. Yeah, I'm going to break into somewhere that has a bunch of cameras.
yes.
Duh.
And they also stole a bunch of hats and everything. Some merch.
Merch.
Pawn shop. Oh, they tried to unload it at a Jersey pawn shop.
Oh, dear. All right. Well, you know what's next?
I'm going to...
Boom.
Yep.
This.
Alrighty. I'm going to take off.
I look like my new graphics.
I do. I like it a lot.
Yep. All right. It's Idea Day again. Dali doesn't want to hang out for trivia.
Need to go rest.
He needs to go rest his voice and
Yes.
all that stuff. All right, cool.
Alrighty.
Didn't
Bye,
mean
guys.
to derail your trolley. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Cool. You know, we need to keep these things going, even though we're still waiting, because it's Voir dire Day again. We're still waiting. What's Sarah doing in the left photo? She's shouting, Scott. She's shouting, all right? Dear me. Game time. Justin, you remember, we have a game time emoji, you know. We do. We'll still play while we're waiting. This is going to be so much better once we get a trial, though. Once we get a trial. The state accuses the defense of trying to do what to the jury with 550 pages of records? 1. Tamper with them. 2. Taint them. 3. Bury them. Or 4. Blindside them. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Put your answers in chat. The state accuses the defense of trying to do what to the jury with 550 pages of records? 1. Tamper with them. 2. Taint them. 3. Bury them. Or 4. Blindside them. Doopy 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 doo doo. Da 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 da. Is that my music? Oh, baby! And they're beautiful. Sorry, all unread. I thought someone would go for taint them just for fun. That would be good. I would have said taint them, but I can't play.
Sarah Boone needed a lawyer.
Yep,
Sarah
sure did.
Boone needed a lawyer. Sarah Boone needed a lawyer.
Stop saying that, James. Jeez Christ. It's Maddie B. And then Half Irish third and Factual Lie fourth. And then Scott. Awesome. Alrighty. What apparently happened to George in 2018? 1. Sarah ran over him with a car. 2. He put his hand through a glass window. 3. He needed facial reconstruction. Or 4. He had a fight with a handbag. what apparently happened to George in 2018. 1. Sarah ran over him with a car. 2. He put his hand through a glass window. 3. He needed facial reconstruction. Or 4. He had a fight with a handbag. Put your numbers in chat, everybody. Everybody. What's Scott? Oh dear. Do I deduce that you didn't get that right, Scott? Beautiful, got that one first. Oh no, sorry. Maddie got it. Maddie's the only one who got it. Because the year was the wrong way around, guys. 2017 was when the other thing happened. Yes, 2018 was the glass window. You see, the facial reconstruction was in 2017. Yes, the plate glass window was 2018. At the voir dire, Judge K didn't ask what. Have you seen the suitcase video? 2. Have you seen the interrogation? 3. Have you seen the body cam? Or 4. Do you collect suitcases? At the voir dire, Judge K didn't ask what. 1. Have you seen the suitcase video? 2. Have you seen the interrogation? 3. Have you seen the body cam? Or 4. Do you collect suitcases? 1, 2, 3, or 4. Put your answers in chat. I know this one's hard.
Mason.
In the land of Boone, where kangaroos roam, there's a lady named Hell out with.
Oh, come on. No one had any fun with that at all. It was too easy. Oh, well, I have to throw one in every now and again. Just for fun. Do you think we're going to get opening statements tomorrow? We're not, are we? Tomorrow's, hang on, today is my Wednesday, right? So tomorrow is your Wednesday. So no, that's right. Tomorrow we're getting motions and lemonade. Cool. That's all right. Tomorrow we are getting footage tomorrow, so that's good. Tomorrow's going to be fun. Sweet. A Redditor noted that Sarah's defense team did what as she entered the room? 1. Hid their bags. 2. Covered their noses. 3. Stood up. Or 4. Knelt down. A Redditor noted that Sarah's defense team did what as she entered the room? 1. Hid their bags. 2. Covered their noses. 3. Stood up. Or 4. Knelt down. Hey, Rachel B. How are you? It depends. Did you have a shower or not? Did you get a shower yesterday? One. Yay, Dolly! Yes, they stood up. They stood up. It would have been funny if they knelt down or hit their backs. You hit 3 like twice. Ah, dear. Who's Shelby? You had a busy night tonight, Rachel? Doing stuff? Cool. Alrighty. Okay. Sarah finally had a lovely suit on today, and the shirt matched what? The folders, 1, 2, the chairs, 3, the blonde, or 4, Mr. Owens. Sarah finally had a lovely suit on today, and the shirt matched what? 1, the folders, 2, the chairs, 3, the blonde, or 4, Mr. Owens. It was pretty obvious, actually. It was pretty obvious if you saw it. Yeah. In fact, I might even show it to you after this. Yo. She looked quite nice today. So much better than the blue. So much better than the blue. Cool. So we have Beautiful Waterfall and Half Irish and Old Line Red and Barbara. No, Darlie, not the blonde. No, Scott, and no, not Mr. Owens, Maddie, or Rachel, or Factual. No, not the folders. It was the chairs. She matched the chairs spot on. But also, and I didn't put this in, she actually matched Mr. J, right? And there's no way she could have coordinated this, but for sure, her shirt and suit outfit, like the whole thing, looked exactly like Mr. J. Beautiful Waterfall again. 4 times champion now. You are getting up there with Half Irish now. You are getting into the big time territory. Beautiful Waterfall, then Maddie B, then Half Irish third again. And we have Scott Wade, Factual Lie, Old Line Red, Rachel B, Barbara, and Darlie Talk. Congratulations. Tomorrow, yes, you are 4 times champion. It is true. Beautiful coming in for my crown. Yeah, she is coming at you. She is coming right at you. Okay, that is big news. Woohoo! That's huge. Alrighty. I will post that in all the places that I post it. And I'm going to be heading over and helping mod at I believe that she's already going. That is Andrea. So I might would it be okay if someone could grab Andrea's link so we can head over there? And I just also see, I believe that also Trial TV is having a Boone thing tonight as well. So is that right? I think Rachel B in chat knows about that. So I'm not sure exactly what that's all about, but I'll be also watching that as well. So thank you, everybody. Now tomorrow's a big one. The motions in Lemonade tomorrow. Motions in Lemonade tomorrow. Get your lemonade out. Can't wait. I am so excited to find out what this thing is with the medical records. I also want to know what's going to happen with this battered spouse syndrome defense. Oh my God, what is the deal? Why has Owens not come back with any response to the state's motion? There's all sorts of things that need to be tied up before we go to trial. So there will definitely be court tomorrow, and we'll be playing that back and anything else that comes out during the day as well. And obviously a fashion update for Sarah, all sorts of gossip and news and more games. So that should be the last day of pre-trial stuff, and then the day after that we'll be getting into opening statements. So I'll see you guys again here. Same time, same channel, 6 p.m. Eastern. Darlie may be back into streaming tomorrow, hopefully, if he's feeling better as well. So he probably will be on 5 p.m. Eastern. But definitely see you guys here 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And I'll catch you guys after this over on Andrea's stream and also on Trial TV. I'll be on both of them. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Congratulations to our winners. Where are we? Rachel B. Oh, it was last night, Rachel B. Oh, sorry. I missed your message. Hope you had a really good time on there. And yeah, Rachel B is she has a alter ego of Sarah Boone. So definitely we'll go over and have a look at that one. And yes, let's go over to Andrea now. Alrighty, time for the song. Time to the song.
Her name was Helen. She was an RV. She was a fake lawyer from the future. She got on YouTube and made some live streams. The co-host is Dolly and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud and because she's an 803.